Hi everyone, thank you for checking out another Top 5 video. From week 6 on to the end of the course, we shift gears in our exploration of evidence and using evidence by focusing more specifically on how evidence is generated through the two lenses that result in quantitatively and qualitatively based evidence. In week 6, we focus on understanding what underpins research and the two types of processes. All right, let's begin the top 5 for week 6. Week 6 is all about theoretical frameworks. So for number 1 on our top list, we're going to take a step back and consider ways of knowing. Early in the course, we focused on empirical knowledge. Here we're talking about theoretical knowing and knowledge. However, the two are connected, and this is illustrated in the diagram. There is a relationship. One results in the other. They inform and feed into each other. Theoretical knowledge refers to theories and ideas about how the world operates. A theory is a set of interconnected or interrelated concepts that serves the purpose of explaining and predicting phenomena, the things that we're interested in. It's like a blueprint. Thus, theoretical knowing forms a basis for empirical knowing in that through research we test theories and ideas which results in empirical knowledge. We do this by making different types of observations of reality, such as looking, speaking, delivering and measuring outcomes of an intervention, using surveys, or asking questions through methods such as interviews and focus groups. The empirical knowing that results can and often confirms our ideas of the world, but it also informs new theories and ideas about how things operate in the world. Number 2 on our list is philosophical beliefs. Simply put, a philosophical belief is the attitude we have whenever we take something to be the case or regard it as true. They are rooted in values, concepts, principles, and the nature of the human knowledge that are shared by either an individual, group, or culture. When we have a set of practices of beliefs, this results in a paradigm or worldview as they are shared among communities. Worldviews guide or shape how we engage in our environment and with others. In nursing research, there are 3 paradigms that guide the process of conducting research from the beginning to the end. These are positivism and post-positivism, constructivism, and critical theory. Table 2.1 on page 27 of the Nursing Research and Nursing Textbook, 4th edition, compares these 3 based on a number of questions about the nature of things. Review the table on page 27 and see which paradigm best fits with your worldview. Number 3 in our top 5 is research methods. What are research methods? They are the techniques, procedures, and processes that a researcher uses to organize a study to answer a research question. Research methods are essentially the meat and potatoes of research. That is, they are the basic, foundational, necessary to answering a research question. When we use the term qualitative research or quantitative research, we are referring to the 2 broad categories of research methods. Which methods a researcher chooses is dictated by the question they ask. Thus, as a consumer of research, you need to know what category of methods your clinical question could be addressed within. This is critical when looking for evidence. If your question must be or is best answered by quantitative methods, and you select or praise studies that use qualitative methods, you're not going to find the answer to the specific question you're looking for, and worse, you may use evidence from the wrong type of study to inform clinical practice. This would be a misstep and could do harm rather than good. Number 4 big idea is frameworks. Frameworks are a key component of conducting research. A research framework is used to understand a research problem and guide the development, collection, and analysis of research. All research studies have a framework. There are 2 types of research frameworks: theoretical and conceptual. Although a theoretical framework can be defined as a structure of concepts or theories or both that is used to construct a map of a study, it often uses a single theorized or philosophical belief to structure a study. The study is designed around the theorized or philosophical belief in that it is a primary means by which the phenomenon of interest, the thing that you want to study, is understood and is used to define the research question, the hypothesis, and investigate to generate an answer. Although theoretical frameworks tend to be used in quantitative studies, this approach in structuring a study can be used in qualitative studies also. A conceptual framework includes one or more formal theories, in part or whole, as well as other concepts and empirical findings from the literature. It is used to show relationships among these ideas and how they relate to the research study. Conceptual frameworks are commonly seen in qualitative research in nursing, social science, and behavioral sciences, for example, because often one theoretical belief or philosophical perspective cannot fully address the phenomenon being studied. Last big idea for week 6 is the ladder of abstraction. The ladder of abstraction is a way to gain perspective when reading and thinking about frameworks. At the top of the ladder, and thus the most abstract, is the paradigm or worldview, the beliefs and assumptions of the researcher. Next is the framework, which, as we define, often brings together theories and concepts and makes clear those relationships. The researcher uses these to make known their purpose, problem, and structure of their research. When reading a research paper, you should be able to identify the framework and any related theories or concepts. In quantitative research, that's usually found at the beginning before the methods are discussed. And in qualitative research, it's usually after the methods section and typically in the discussion. The ladder of abstraction ends with the lowest level, which is the most concrete, variables. We previously defined these as the elements that we are observing in the study. Final note. You often hear the word model being used when talking about concepts and frameworks. Although the term model and framework are often used as synonyms, there is a considerable difference between the two. A model is used to explain and represent a mechanism and operation of some process or thing. If you put the word conceptual before model, then it will represent something which is in the mind of the person regarding a process or other thing. On the other hand, a framework is used to represent an empirical relationship between all the aspects of an inquiry in the scientific theory or any other research. It also explains the limitations of the theory and other general aspects which direct the framework. Models are often created to depict relationships which arise from research findings. They typically arise from inductive reasoning, a process starting with the details of experience and moving to a general picture. Inductive reasoning is most often associated with qualitative research. That's it for week 6's top 5. It took more than 5 minutes, but all very important information that I hope I've broken down in plain language. Bye for now.